Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Karmen Smith, and welcome to the Healer's Manual. I'm putting together these short videos to give a guideline to all of those who feel like they are healers. Maybe you've gone into the medical profession or the psychological profession, or maybe you're just the family go-to person. But a healer is a person that has a calling. They know that they're different from maybe the regular population. They know that they think differently. Usually when they were little, they were coming from a place of love and they felt maybe they were shut down or there was something wrong in the family, and they felt that. A lot of healers are empaths, meaning that they feel energy, whether it's coming from other people, the environment, nature, or the general population. They just feel more. They're more sensorial. They can sense something is going on. They can sense another person's joy, sadness, anger, etc. So today I'd like to talk about being an empath, but also transmuting your past. What does that mean? So transmutation is taking one thing and turning it into another. And you'll notice that artists do this. Artists, whether you're a singer or a painter, will take a certain feeling or a certain situation, and maybe the situation is painful, and they'll turn it into musical or a gospel. And through their voice, they will take that pain and turn it into something joyous. So they're transmuting something from one thing to the next. So as far as gospel music and maybe hip hop or rap, they're taking the horrors of what's going on in the community, injustice, discrimination. They're transmuting it into an art form, hip hop, gospel, and their voice is used. I'm thinking about Aretha Franklin and others. Their voice is used as like a catalyst, like a way of transforming that pain into something that is joyful. So transmutation is something that every healer needs to do in their own life. So a lot of healers have come from abuse, neglect situations, dysfunctional families, bullying, whatever it is. And so we can look at that as therapists and say, oh, well, where does your anger come from? Or where does your pain come from? And we can trace it back to when you were younger, how you grew up, somebody left the family, somebody was an alcoholic, you were abused, whatever it is. And we can say, oh, that's where your pain comes from. So once we find out where it's coming from, then you have to do something with it. And what you do with it is that you transmute it. And in healers, since we're changing one thing to another, what we need to really recognize is that everything that comes into our life is there to make us a better healer, to make us more empathetic, to make us more understanding. When there is chaos, we'll see it for what it is, chaos, and we won't be afraid of it because we came from chaos. So we need to see our childhood experiences, our adult traumatic experiences as signposts in our past and along our path that created who we are. And we're powerful beings, but we need to go through some stuff. And I mean through, not stay there. My sister says, when you go through the valley of death, don't build a house there. You're going to go through the valley of death. So you're going to go through those experiences, through the fear, through the pain, and you're going to see the benefit of them. So let's go through that prayer, the Psalms. So, although I go through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And so basically, you're being guided and comforted because there is some good that is coming out of that situation. We need to see the good that came out of our childhood. I always say that I came from a dysfunctional family, and I'm so glad I did. It made me go into mental health field because I wanted to find out why my family was so crazy. Um, it made me go and pursue those things that I was called to do. And I'm called to do this by the divine source. So everything in my life was divinely guided to bring me to this point right here. So when someone comes to me, or when I was working with children for so many years and adolescents and parents that were involved in abuse and neglect and trauma, I didn't need to know the whole dissertation of their life to go deep into their experience and know what they've gone through. And also, not only to know what they've gone through, but to know how to go in and bring them out. So these are valuable tools that I received from my childhood. Now, at the time when I was a kid, I didn't know that this was going to be beneficial. I thought it was the worst thing ever to be in my family. It wasn't until years later and revelations and lots of work going in and saying, oh my gosh, how wonderful was that happened. How, at the time, I didn't think so, but now I can see. So what I did was I transmuted, that attitude of, oh, it's horrible, to, oh, what a jewel, what a gem that was. I transmuted my past. Do you know what I'm saying? I changed my past so that it fits the magnificent of my present. And so all healers need to do that. If there's something in your past, if you look back on it and have all of this regret, guilt, shame, sadness, depression, then that means the transmutation work needs to begin. Because everything in your life, I don't care what it is, has brought you on the path of being a healer, being able to receive the power of God means that we have to transmute everything that is not in alignment, not the same as God. And God doesn't have shame, guilt, regret, or anything. There is bliss, though. There is wonder, there is awe, and there is a joy. And so that comes after you've done your transmutation work. So I hope this is helpful. And also it's good to keep a journal. And as you're transmuting, really feel into the vibration of how wonderful that gift was of whatever it was in your past. So I'll see you next time. Love you.